My name's Eddie Winners. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Coup d'etat. I'm very excited this morning because we have a very, very special guest on the line, Mr. Dave Davies. How are you, sir? Welcome to the program.
It's good to be on the show. How are you?
Oh, we're doing great. It is. First off, it is such an honor to speak with you. I know you are a busy man. You've got a new record out called Rippin Up Time, and I believe you're in an airport waiting to get on a plane.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Where am I? I forgot what city I'm in.
That's good.
I'm waiting for a plane to go to Chicago.
That's
in New York.
That is right. You've got one heck of a tour lined up that I believe starts tomorrow, and
yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm excited. I know you just put out the record Rippin Up Time, and
That's right.
yeah, and you guys you were just on the Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show, I believe, on Friday night.
That's right. That was great fun.
Yeah.
Great time.
It looked like you were having a blast, and I've got to say, Dave, the new record sounds great, I'm really excited. This is 2 records in 18 months. You're a busy man.
No, but I think there's great fame and creativity, and I'm going to keep going with it, you know?
It's fantastic. Let me ask you a question. Ripping Up Time, I know that you've got a very deep spiritual connection. What is the meaning for you for that track and that title for your record?
Well, I think, Rippin Up Time, it really came out of a dream. It was I thought I was in the past in the front room where we did Let It Got Me and formed the song.
Right.
And then I was thinking where I am now today in this crazy, confused world we live in, and then thinking about the future and all my hopes and worries about the future. And then I woke to my sound of myself shouting out, "There is madness here. There is madness here."
Right.
And that formed up the idea for the whole album, really. Ripping up time, like time isn't maybe what we think it is, and just, the idea grew out of that dream.
Right.
And of course, memories of the past, and that's why songs like Front Room came to life, and In the Old Days, thinking about, and when I grew up and stuff like that. So. And you've worked with your son on this record as well. How did that collaboration take shape? Well, me and my son worked together. We worked on an album in 2011 called the Ashir Project, which kind of like science fiction meets spirituality type thing. So we worked together before, but Russell wanted to help write some rock tunes. So he helped me with keyboards and arrangement. And
right.
Co-wrote 3 of the tracks. So it was so exciting working with him, and it's great to work with.
It's got such a modern feel with some of the electronic touches to it, and
yeah, I thought it'd be fun. Try to keep it vibrant and youthful and spontaneous. Try to keep it alive.
It is, and I got to say, one of my favorite tracks on the record is Nosy Neighbors.
Yeah, that's funny.
There's
a little story behind it. I was staying at my niece's house, and just outside London, early on in the year, and the people kept seeing us come and go. You could see the curtains being pulled to one side, and they thought, because we do look a bit like the same family, and they couldn't make out whether we were a couple or what. And so June, my niece, said to me one day as we walked in the house, she said, "Don't worry about those nosy neighbours." And it gave us an idea for the song.
Have you played the track for your niece's neighbours?
Not yet. Well, when I get back to the UK, I'll play it out really, really loud at her house. and then they can call us noisy neighbours.
Right. You never know. They may have already heard it because they're so nosy. You never know.
Yeah, that's fine.
That is a possibility. You know, and this is 2014. That marks is it the 50th anniversary of the release of "You Really Got Me"?
Absolutely, yeah. And I thought about that a lot when writing the material. So, because a long time.
And it really has, and it's such a, I mean, but as you know, I mean that riff just kicked off. I mean, really the popular rock and roll music. I mean, of course you've got the Beatles and you've got this and that, but you've got the Kinks doing that riff. Changed the world.
It was the heaviest guitar sound of that period, so it did influence. Changed a lot of things at the time, and it's amazing. It still sounds pretty fresh today.
Oh yeah, I think even today with modern technology, you still can't get that same sound, that same raw sound as what you got from you took a razor blade to the speaker, right?
We different times, and the recording techniques were different.
Yeah.
Right.
So how many kids, like all across, like once people were like, they heard that sound and, they were like, how are you getting that? You're like, I took a razor blade. Was it nothing but like slash speakers? Like, was the resale value of speakers in the UK in '65 must have been horrible because everybody was trying to sell amps with
slashed up
speakers. Well, I got that.
Yeah, well,
Davies
it was only a cheap amplifier. It was only
I believe Dave's getting whisked away.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I cut out there.
No problem. I know you're busy in the airport there.
Yeah, that's fine. I got this little amplifier from the shop next door. It was literally like 3 houses away, and I didn't even expect it to work when I tried it. I got a razor blade and I slashed out the speakers. And I didn't expect it to work. When I plugged it in, and it came out with that great rasping, raunchy sound.
Just and then the rest is, as they say, history. And there's the famous story that Ray had talked about years ago is during the recording of that record. I know that was the Kinks' 3rd single, and there was talk of maybe being dropped from the label, etc. And there's there's a moment Ray spoke about where it came time for the guitar solo. There's that little break, the drum break, and he looked at you and you yelled back at him, and you can hear that on the record. Can you give me your version of that story?
Well, yeah. What he was doing, he was trying to. Actually, he was irritating me because I was trying to get the job done, right?
Right.
And he kept shouting at me, and he was putting me off. He thought he was helping me, but he was actually putting me off. So I told him, not to do it.
Right.
In harsher language.
Right.
Yeah.
In a word you can't use on the radio either.
Right, that's right. And I told him to leave it.
Yes, and that's on the record. That is one of the greatest little hidden gems. Is that when you hear that, you listen close. Absolutely, absolutely. One of the great stories. Let me ask you really quickly. I know we are pressed for time, but I wanted to ask. You know, in 2014, you suffered, 2004, you suffered a stroke, and since then, you know, you've been on. You're back, and you're putting out records. Can I ask you what did that stroke provide you with some kind of spiritual insight on that recovery, on that road to recovery?
Oh, yeah, I think so. It was a big wake-up call about lifestyle and attitudes, and I think all my spiritual practices and spiritual interests helped me during that time in my illness. And, you know, when you lay flat on your back in the hospital, not able to really move, it's kind of, it makes you realise that we're not in control of our lives as much as we think we are.
Right.
And so it taught me a lot about acceptance and just going with the flow and trying to enjoy life more without all the stress and the anxiety and the worry that goes with it. You know, I think that taught me a lot about, you know, how to relax a lot more and accept life. And that maybe there is a higher power in all of our lives. We need to accept that the earth and the universe are really there to help us. And I think once we realise that, I think it gives us a lot of inner power.
Right. And how long have you? I'm sorry.
No, we've got to have fun. You know, we've got to enjoy ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because laughter it releases different chemicals in the brain, and laughter is really, humour is so important.
Right.
We shouldn't take ourselves quite so seriously.
Don't do that here.
We surely don't here.
We're following your lead on that one. Mr. Davies, I was curious, like because you had your stroke, it affected your right side, and so you're left-handed. You know, you have one side of your body that actually can follow its commands, and when you put a guitar in your hand, was it physical rehab that brought back that muscle memory to be able to strum along, or is
it took a couple of years, I think.
Wow.
But fortunately, my left hand wasn't bothered by the illness, and I could have the same dexterity in the left hand. But I lost the rhythmic sense of the right hand, but I just worked with it.
Right.
I had good people in rehab that were helping me, and you know, I was very fortunate.
Yeah, well,
I regard myself as a very lucky person.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you sound great. You look great. You're awesome.
And I was gonna say on the Fallon show on Friday, you looked great.
Yeah. Oh my
you
God.
sounded perfect, and you would never have known.
Yeah.
I know, it's just keep going, and you have to be optimistic.
You really do. I mean, I was going to say you've got 13 shows lined up, and you know there's no showing of slowing down. I mean, it looks like it's a pretty heavy tour that you're on. Can you tell us a little bit? I'm sorry. Can you tell us a little bit about the songs and like what you're going to be putting into the show on this tour together?
Yeah, we're going to try out a couple of new songs, maybe Frank Rome and Those Neighbours, maybe Rippin Up Time, and I'll be mixing it with old Kinks stuff and old Davies songs.
Right.
It'll be a mixed bag, be a mixture.
I can't wait. Any plans to come to the West Coast?
Not yet. We're talking about maybe next year, but you know, I don't want to go too crazy.
Right.
Take it easy.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, put some time on, some time off, and then come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. That's the way to do it, I think. Well, for me, anyway.
I love it. Do you ever get tired of... I know that everybody must come up to you and say, oh, you're Dave Davies. When are the Kinks getting back together? When do you get tired of people asking you that?
Yeah, but, you know, when I get back to the UK in December, I'll probably meet up with Ray and we'll talk about what we do. You know, nothing definite yet.
Right.
But obviously, it would be nice. It's nice to do something.
And your relationship with your brothers is doing better than it has in years past.
Yeah. Definitely. We're getting on better.
That's great to hear. And I tell you what, I look forward to seeing you. I know we've got a lot of listeners out on the East Coast that are listening, and they're excited about you coming through town. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I do want to thank you so much for sharing your morning with us before you head on off to Chicago. And we'd love to, if you come back, we'd love to have you back on the program and talk a little bit longer about some of.
That'd be great.
I would love that.
That'd be good.
I would love that. We would play some of some tracks from your record, from your new record, and get a little deep on some spirituality. I'd love that.
Great.
That'd be great. Yeah, contact my PR people. Set something up. Yeah.
You've got it. Well, Dave, thank you again for all your time. I wish you the best for this tour and for the success of this record. And we look forward to it.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave.
Oh, thank you, and have a great day.
You too, and safe travels. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Dave Davies of the Kinks.